So it's a beautiful day down here on the allotment. We don't get many of these in January, so I'm going to take the opportunity and give you a good tour around. And had quite a lot of things that died. I'm actually going to give you the tour before I clean up. I might put a few clips in to show you what it looks like after I've cleaned up, but it's quite useful, I think, sometimes just to see what died in the big freeze that we had back in December. So let's get on. Start the video in an unusual spot, my mini greenhouse, and that is because I just wanted to show you all of those little Orkney cauliflower seedlings died. Everything else seems to be surviving in here after a fashion, but there's some things looking a bit sickly, but mostly everything is alive. And I've just opened up the whole of the plot just to give it a bit of an airing, and I've just been planting some bits and pieces just to fill in any gaps where things died. So let's just start here. Got a few bits and pieces of lettuce. This bed actually fared the worst, and it was because these were the oldest of the young lettuces, if you can follow what I mean by that. And I'm not actually going to replant this one. I think I'll just replant this one, and yeah, I'll cut my losses on that one. Under here we've got carrots. Working my way through these. I always take the tops off my carrots. This is my new strawberry bed. All those strawberries survived, and if you're really careful you can see the garlic coming up in all these spots between the strawberries, so I'm quite pleased with that. Cabbages are looking good, and I am really pleased that I interplanted into those cabbages this Claytonia or winter miner's lettuce, because it's a really great complement to lettuce at this time of year. Although the stuff in the polytunnel has done even better than the stuff out here, so I might do a bit more in the polytunnel next year. And hopefully that is a dead caterpillar, but I'll be taking it off anyway just in case. There, salad onions, and then spinach, looking pretty good. This is, I think, probably my best spinach bed at the moment. We just harvested it just before Christmas, so we're just leaving it a week or so before we give it another harvest. It's my second early strawberries. I'll put a cold frame top on this at some point, but for now they're just enjoying the cold weather. Obviously quite a few of these old leaves were killed, but that's really nothing to worry about with strawberries. And then this is a really old spinach bed interplanted with salad onions. You know, really, I'm not bothered about this bed because we've got quite a lot of spinach at the moment. I'll be pleased to get it cleared out and replanted, and that will happen pretty soon actually. I think by March this will have early kales in it, and then that will be followed by purple sprouting broccoli. Talking of early kales, these are late kales, and so I'm hoping, since these are the youngest plants that I've got, these will go to seed the latest. They're looking really nice at the moment. I'm very pleased with them, and obviously nothing is going to look great in sort of early January, but I suspect by the time we come back and do another tour in February, middle of February time, these will be looking a lot better if I haven't harvested them overly aggressively. And then here I've just started replanting this bed. This was red pak choi, and it's now spinach for salad harvest, so baby leaf spinach. Only went in a couple of days ago, and so I'm hoping to be harvesting that by the end of February, as I say, just for baby leaves. This is the last of the tatsoi that I've got, apart from the stuff in the polytunnel and the new plantings, and it's not really great eating now. This, it's okay in things like soups, but I wouldn't put this in a salad. I'll just be clearing this over the next few days, sorry, next few weeks, and getting that replanted. This is a much older kale bed, and hopefully you can see, you know, the difference really in the quality between this bed and the one I've just shown you. So this will all be cleared very soon and replanted. I'm not 100% sure what I'm putting in here. I think I'm going to put early peas down the back and probably lettuces down the front. And you might notice that all the chard was killed, and so this bed really needs a good clean up. Really pleased to say that all of the onions survived really well in the big freeze, and we were down at -10 here. I know some people went quite a bit below that, but that is really cold for us here. And it kind of, in a way, did us a favour, that, because it slowed the growth down of these onions, and they were a little bit big, and I was worried they were going to go to seed. I think there's a slightly less chance now that they'll go to seed, but anyway, there's red and white. I think there's red winter in here, and there's some lila, and there's some tough ball. They're looking great. Another nice bed of spinach, looking really nice. So I've got a couple of really good beds, nice and mature, really well rooted. These are going to really take off in early to mid-February, and then be incredibly prolific through March, and then probably go to seed. And so I need some replacements, and so I've got some replacements, different varieties. These are Red Kitten, favourite variety for spring, and I've got some more down here as well, and these are Red Kitten as well, and these are about 3 weeks younger. So this is the carrot bed that we eat in late winter through spring, and you can see that I've started as planned to interplant it with lettuces. All of these are replacements for the ones that died in the big freeze, and all of those at the end there, which you might be able to see very well there, all those survived the big freeze. So those are Navara. They're great. They're really, really tough. And they're my favourite spring lettuce, but they don't actually do very well as mature plants for me over winter. And then down there there's just carrots. I am kind of hoping to squeeze an extra harvest of something from the gaps in between that carrot bed before all this gets replaced with onions in April, but we'll see. So this bed looks like a bit of a disaster, and it kind of is a disaster. It was the collect bed. They all got club root, so I had to take them all out, but I only took them out in October time or something, and it was really too late to plant very much else in here. So I popped field beans in. It already had leeks around the edges, and in between the leeks I planted onions, and then in between the field beans I also planted onions. Now the field beans all pretty much died in the big freeze, and you can see, obviously they do not look very healthy in this bed at that end, but at this end you can hardly even see that they were in here, just the odd little black remnants on the surface. But all the onions are coming up, so I might get some little onions before this bed gets replanted to carrots in May. Well, it might be even late May, so I might get reasonable sized onions out of here. We'll have to see. So I've pruned all my trees, apart from the cherry tree in the middle. Prune that in summer. All the green that you can see shooting up is all elephant garlic. So this used to be a raised bed. I took the raised part of it out and just covered it all with wood chip, and that is kind of my general trend now. It'll take a long time, probably about 10 years, but over the next 10 years, if I manage to eradicate the bindweed and the mare's tail, most of these beds will just kind of be turned into perennial beds with thick wood chip mulches. More onions in these big planters. So this bed gave me an early harvest of field bean tips through autumn and early winter, And I've just taken them out now because we won't need field beans pretty soon, because we've got quite a lot on Debbie's plot. And in their place we've got lettuces and tatsoi, and the tatsoi should replace the tatsoi that's in the polytunnel that you'll see in a minute. And the lettuces are just my favourite spring varieties, so they'll complement the lettuces that you'll see in a minute. This is the autumn carrot bed. I'm hoping to get this replanted with cauliflowers and red cabbage pretty soon, and then we've got some Asian greens in here, and I'm hoping to get this replanted with spring cabbages for kind of harvest in late spring, early summer, and then this will be followed by purple sprouting broccoli. So underneath this fleece we've got red cabbages and lamb's lettuce, and more mature lamb's lettuce and salad onions down the far end. In this bed I've got Brussels sprouts with leeks down the back. Most of these were harvested for leaves, so maybe I harvested the leaves too much and that resulted in the sprouts being really small, but actually I just think it was a bad choice of variety. I can't remember what variety this was, but I won't be sowing it again, because the variety I really want to sow is down here, and that is Breast F1, and that has been a fantastic sprout, really great. So again, these plants were harvested for leaves, but it didn't seem to affect the sprouts at all. Got a really nice harvest off those, and I'm continuing to harvest off them as I also harvest in colettes. So I'm hoping the sprouts and the colettes last me until the end of February, by which time I should have loads of kale and cabbage and things. These are the leeks. These are doing really nicely. Only a very small number of these went to seed. Do need a bit of tidying up, but I like my leeks small and sweet, and I've got absolutely stacks of them there, so very happy with those. I've just taken out the last of the beetroot. All the beetroot we've got now is in store. Look at this purple sprouting broccoli. This area here is claret. That is looking reasonably okay. This stuff is red fire, so this was meant to be the purple sprouting broccoli we would be eating in sort of February, March time, and it looks like it's probably has died. And then this is red admiral, and I think this is the one that we were meant to be eating in February. It's suffered quite a bit, but it might just pull through. These are my first early strawberries, looking pretty good. We've got mild weather coming over the next few weeks, so I won't be putting them in the polytunnel until cold weather arrives again. I'll just give them a bit of a clean up then, and very happy with those so far. These are the big tubs are my second early strawberries, so they're going to go in the polytunnel in February. And later outside, just a few more onions, and these are looking particularly good. This is exactly what I want to see from my onion sets at this time of year. You know, nice good green growth, but nice and small, and that should mean they will be ready in June and July, and hopefully they won't go to seed. Peas lasted until December, and obviously they didn't survive the big freeze, so the polytunnel is looking the best yet. We've got lettuces all the way down here, all looking really nice. I'm so pleased we haven't lost a single one of these so far. We probably will lose a few as we go into February, but as you've seen, I've got lots of lettuce coming, so I'm kind of really happy with the lettuce situation. Loads of salad onions interplanted into the lettuce bed down here, and then loads of garlic interplanted into that lettuce bed down there, and that garlic is only just coming through, not to worry about that. I think we've lost the celery. Normally we get the celery surviving, but it was minus 9.3 in the polytunnel, so it's kind of not surprising that we eventually lost one. I think I'll probably still do it in subsequent years, because we don't normally get minus 9, minus 10 degrees in a polytunnel. Parsley though was really happy. These little spinach troughs, which are just for salad pickings, they were pretty good. We did also lose some of the broad beans. I think I'll replant all of those though. In fact, I just sowed new plants yesterday. The winter miners lettuce looking pretty good. It's all been harvested. It's all growing back again. The tatsoi is looking really nice. This is the stuff we're harvesting right now. I'm also harvesting this red pak choi, and then these lettuces are the ones we're going to be harvesting through the period January and February, and as full heads, and then this bed will get replanted with Asian greens in March. All of the chard outside was killed, but the chard in here has survived, although it needs a bit of a clean up, so pretty pleased I did this container. Actually, in a way, that celery looks slightly better than the stuff at the other end, so that might pull through. Oh, the rocket's looking really good, much better than the stuff that's outside, which is now inedible. Tubs of carrots for May and early June. I've just started sowing my next batch of carrots for June. I've finished harvesting lettuces from these hanging baskets. They were really useful extra harvest, so I'll definitely be doing that again. I've still got a few plants in here, but pretty soon all of these hanging baskets will be replaced by those strawberries. Finally, the seedlings in here, most of them will probably pull through. So I've got cauliflowers, red cabbages. These won't pull through. These are the celery, and even if they actually start regrowing, I'm pretty sure they'll just go to seed. More red cabbages and calabrese. Finally, one solitary little perennial kale cutting, and the perennial kale outside is looking okay. Took a bit of battering, it's not too bad. So I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.